How much do you think you're worth? And I'm referring to monetary value. So I'm not talking about your salary, I'm not talking about your net worth. I'm talking about how much it would take for the world to forget about you. $100,000? $50,000? Maybe even $10,000. But what if I told you that you're only worth 100 US dollars? So don't ask me how I know about this, but basically what I'm gonna talk about today would be sensitive to some of you guys. So if you guys choose to click away, you guys can do so right now. But anyways, I want you guys to imagine yourself in a third world country. You're driving late at night in the middle of the road, and suddenly you crash into something. You get out of your car, and what you see ahead of you is an unconscious body that was bleeding out. Now the police has just arrived to take your statement. I want to ask you, how much do you think it would take for you to get away with everything? 100 USD is how much it would take, basically, essentially, to get away with murder. Now let's take a look at everything that's happening around this transaction. You, the unconscious body, and the police. $100 was what it took, obviously, for you to get away. But $100 was what it took for the whole world to forget about the victim. So maybe the family and friends of the victim might remember, but they do not know had happened to him, right? Or because $100 was what it took for the policeman to ignore him. All his possessions that he had, maybe the things they were working for, he was working maybe super hard for his company. Or it doesn't matter whatever that he did, because $100 was what it took to essentially strip him of everything that he was. Now let's talk about the police. $100 was what it took for him is to essentially treat murder as okay, it's alright. Right, I'm not here to talk about the morality, whether it's good or bad. But what I'm saying is that $100 is basically what was needed for him to say murder is okay. And $100 to him is probably his monthly bonus. It's basically enough for him to feed his family. Right? And we're talking about normal people here. The policeman is the normal person going back to his family. Probably has a family, kids. Maybe not, maybe do, but what I'm trying to get here is that he is a normal person and he's taking these $100 just to survive. Now I want you to imagine the billionaires and corporations and what they are doing to us right now. Essentially, whatever they are seeing in the world right now is basically because something does not look right on their spreadsheet. You're not even treated as a human being anymore, because all you're treated as is a transaction. And $100 is what it took for the policeman to ignore you and treat your human life as nothing but $100. Imagine these billionaires and corporations. And the only difference is right now is that the normal person is doing this in order to survive, because they're hungry for something. The billionaires and corporations, they are already sufficient. They have more than enough to survive. In fact, they're living on luxury, and yet they're doing things even more just to get more, because they're greedy. So that's the reason why you're saying the things that you're saying today. Or maybe not, but the things that are happening is easier to pollute our waters, it's easier to pollute our air, take over your land, than to do a cleanup, because it's easier and it makes more sense on the spreadsheet. This is why the evil things are happening to our world. It's because of this. And on a personal level, if you are always chasing what the system wants you to be, right? You're going to chase after the next promotion. You're going to sacrifice your health just to chase after all these materialistic things, material possessions. Then I can tell you how much you're worth exactly. You're worth 100 US dollars. So don't let the system treats you exactly as a transaction. You are the only person that know how much you are worth. And if you decide that you're worth what your salary is, then you are exactly worth 100 US dollars. Because these billionaires, these corporations, they do not care about you. And in the example that I gave you earlier, your life is only worth $100. So just think about it and know what you're worth exactly. Chase after the things that are really important to you. Not your degree, not your work, not all these materialistic items, all for status. Chase after things that are really important to you, and then you will know what you are worth. Because if you're worth what society says you're worth, then you are worth 100 USD. Which is what exactly happens in the example that I gave earlier. Right, the victim, we do not know anything about him. We will not know anything, whether he was working towards something, whether he sacrificed something or anything. Only in that moment we do only know that he's worth 100 US dollars. And no matter what you do in your life, if you're chasing these materialistic possessions, that is exactly how much you're gonna be worth, 100 US dollars. So anyways, that was just something that I was thinking about last night, and thank you guys for listening to my talks. See you guys in the next video. Yeah.